Prepare to have your mind blown. Recent scientific advancements have shed new light on the Shroud of Turin, revealing astonishing secrets about its origins and the man depicted upon it. This video dives deep into the history and science of this mysterious cloth, challenging your beliefs and revealing what might be the greatest mystery of our time. So sit back, open your mind, and get ready to explore a journey through history, science, and faith. The Shroud of Turin is a large linen cloth, about 14 feet long and 3.5 feet wide. What makes it so fascinating is the faint but detailed image of a man who appears to have been crucified. His body shows wounds that match those of Jesus Christ as described in the Gospels: nail marks in the wrists and feet, a wound in the side, and injuries to the head consistent with a crown of thorns. The man appears to have suffered greatly. Blood stains can be seen on the cloth, and the positioning of the body suggests it was wrapped quickly and with care, possibly in a state of mourning or urgency. The cloth first appeared in historical records in 1357 in Lirey, France, where it was displayed by a French knight named Geoffroy de Charny. But stories about a cloth showing Jesus' image go back much further. Some believe it could be connected to the image of Edessa, an ancient relic mentioned in early Christian writings. That cloth was believed to have healing powers and bore the face of Jesus. According to legend, the image of Edessa disappeared from historical records, only to resurface centuries later as the Shroud of Turin. At first, opinions were divided. Some thought it was the real burial cloth of Jesus. Others believed it was a religious icon or even a clever forgery created in the Middle Ages to attract pilgrims. But one thing stood out: the image on the cloth wasn't made like traditional artwork. There were no brush strokes, no paint, and no dye that explained how the image got there. The image wasn't painted. It wasn't drawn. It wasn't burned. It was something different, something no one could explain. And that's why, even centuries later, the shroud remains a mystery that fascinates both believers and skeptics. From France, the shroud changed hands multiple times. It was eventually acquired by the powerful House of Savoy, a European royal family. In 1578, the shroud was moved to its current home, the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist in Turin, Italy. It remains there to this day, kept in a specially designed climate-controlled case to preserve it from damage. Over the centuries, the shroud was treated as a sacred object. It was rarely displayed, and when it was, massive crowds gathered to see it. People traveled from all over to get even a brief glimpse of what many believed to be the burial cloth of Jesus Christ. Special exhibitions called ostensions drew pilgrims by the thousands. Some wept, others prayed, and all were moved by the mysterious image on the linen. But curiosity eventually led to scientific examination. In 1978, an international team of experts known as STURP, the Shroud of Turin Research Project, was allowed to study the cloth closely for several days. They used advanced tools and techniques to examine the fibers, test for chemicals, and study the image. Their findings were astonishing. The image wasn't made by paint, dye, or heat. It affected only the very top surface of the cloth's fibers. No known artistic method could reproduce what they were seeing. It wasn't like anything in the history of art or science. Furthermore, the image appears as a photographic negative. When photographed, the negative image reveals even more striking detail. This discovery was made as early as 1898, when an Italian photographer named Secondo Pia took the first official photo of the shroud. But in 1988, carbon dating tests brought controversy. Small samples of the cloth were sent to labs in Oxford, Zurich, and Arizona. The results dated the cloth to somewhere between 1260 and 1390 AD. This suggested it was a medieval creation, not a 2,000-year-old relic. Many took this as proof that the shroud was a fake. But not everyone agreed. Some researchers pointed out that the tested samples may have come from a repaired section of the cloth, possibly stitched during the Middle Ages after fire damage. If so, the carbon dating wouldn't reflect the age of the entire shroud. Other studies revealed pollen from plants native to the Middle East, supporting the idea that the cloth had traveled through that region. Blood stains on the cloth tested positive for human blood, though the exact age couldn't be determined. Forensic experts noted that the wounds and blood flow patterns matched what we know about Roman crucifixion. Medical experts said the man's position, injuries, and blood marks were consistent with someone who had been whipped, nailed to a cross, and pierced in the side. These details align with gospel accounts, but also raise more questions. If it was a forgery, how could someone in the Middle Ages have such detailed knowledge of Roman crucifixion techniques, which had long been abandoned? Despite modern advances in imaging and technology, no one has been able to fully explain how the image was formed. Some theories suggest radiation, some suggest a chemical reaction, and others still believe it was miraculous. The shroud's influence isn't limited to science and religion. It has had a major impact on art and culture as well. Many paintings of Jesus, especially during the Renaissance, seem to reflect the face seen on the shroud. The long hair, the beard, the sorrowful expression, all of these became standard in Western depictions of Christ. Writers and filmmakers have also drawn inspiration from the shroud. It has been featured in novels, documentaries, and even conspiracy theories. In every generation, new minds revisit this ancient cloth, searching for answers. So what is the Shroud of Turin? Is it a medieval hoax, crafted with skill and deception? Is it the burial cloth of Jesus, preserved through centuries of history? Or is it something else entirely? Millions of people still believe it is the real burial cloth of Christ. For them, it's a holy relic, a symbol of suffering, death, and resurrection. For scientists, it remains a puzzle. And for many others, it's a reminder that some mysteries are bigger than we can explain. Today, researchers continue to study the shroud using new tools, digital imaging, artificial intelligence, and 3D modeling. Yet the image remains, a faint imprint of a man who suffered deeply, whose presence on that cloth still raises questions we may never fully answer. Is it Jesus of Nazareth? Or is it a powerful symbol created by faith, myth, or art? The Shroud of Turin invites each of us to think deeply, not just about history or science, but about ourselves. What do we believe? What do we trust? And what are we still searching for? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe the shroud is real, fake, or something else? Until next time, stay curious.